All right, welcome, guys. This is the Keeping Up with Nothing show. I am Sean, no government name today, and this is
Shaf, no government
there.
name
You
today.
go.
This is episode 3.
Episode 3 now, man. It's moving along. It's moving along nicely, bro. This is either going to be one of the best episodes we have, or well, the best episode we have, or the worst. Because
Oh,
I'm
what?
like, I'm I'm on that verge where like I'm tired and I've got that little burst of energy you get just before you get really tired.
Oh yeah. That millisecond win where you think, no, it's cool, and then you knock out.
Yeah, where you get a bit silly. So right now I'm feeling a bit silly, but then who knows what's gonna happen past that?
Have you been toking that good stuff?
No. Even though it looks like I have, because I've been sitting at a computer all day, so my eyes are burning right now, bro.
Red like a motherfucker.
Yes. So if anyone's wondering, I'm not high, but I kind of wish I was.
Just fit into the stereotype,
All
right,
bro. So we're gonna get straight to it. Last week we didn't really we didn't go hard on the silliness. So
no, we didn't.
You had a question
it was a bit
just
more mature.
Yes. You had a question just before we started, but you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me what the question said. Someone sent a question, and yeah, take it away, bro.
It was just a silly question. All right, cool. So,
come on, man, let me in on the laughs, bro.
Some guy said, "How early in the relationship can I burst out the Lord of the Rings extended edition?" It killed me.
Why is that so funny to you?
It killed me because you know the relationship is serious if you're willing to bust out Lord of the Rings extended. That's 12 hours, bro. You're willing to spend 12 hours.
Oh, it's 12 hours. Do you want to know something deep?
Don't tell me
I've
you
never seen them.
Oh my god! Why am I
have not seen a singular Lord of the Rings film. That's why it didn't hit me the same. 12 hours? I didn't know it was 12 hours. Bro, there's only 3 of them. How is it 12 hours?
Extended, bro. Extended.
Oh. Have you seen the extended?
Yeah,
back to back?
No, I did that at cinema, bro. I hate myself for it.
You sat there for 12 hours in the cinema?
Plus, you got the ending credits, the in between the films. I think it was like 13, 14 hours in total. It was horrific.
Bro, I don't know why, but it's so funny to me.
The worst thing is, obviously, during the film, bro, you've been eating whatever you need to take a dump. Now, unfortunately, like most normal humans, where a dump takes 2 minutes, for me, it takes about half an hour for a quick one. Oh, jeez, man, the way I had to time that was horrific.
What, during the credits?
Oh, no. I wish I timed it during the credits. I fucking sat through the credits like a dickhead. Yeah, waited the whole time, half an hour, these credits rolling through with some stupid drum and bass music playing in the background, which is like, it's fucking Lord of the Rings. Why?
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, no, I went through the important parts, obviously.
Wow. At least it weren't the battle. Like, you can't be pooping during the battle, bro.
Yeah, what's in the battle?
Especially if you're in the toilet. If you're in the toilet and they're playing like the sound effects and the the music,
bro,
dun 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 dun. Anyway, if we still
come to toilet humor,
that's what I was saying. Anyway, if we still have any listeners,
yeah.
We're going straight into the shallow end. I'm going to go into the shallow end. And when we say the shallow end here on this show, we mean we're going to have a conversation about something that's not really that deep, but we're going to really think it through. We're going to really go into it.
It might not be safe for work people. So if you're listening out loud, boy, don't listen to kids. Yeah. Unless you want to raise your kids up.
Yeah, no kids. But I was going to say, even if you're at work, savage life it. Do it anyway.
Let them people know the kind of freak that you are.
Damn right, man. So I got sent a question. I should have asked the person if I can say their name. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm sorry I didn't shout you out. If you want me to shout you out, I'll shout you out next time. But they were saying, has a woman ever put the tip in you? Whoa. And would you be down for that if she hasn't?
Whoa. I don't think I've ever been given a good tip by a woman. All right, so awkward story.
That's a good question. Do women tip?
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you what. Yeah, at my workplace, we very rarely get tips. Probably because most of our customers are amazing people and understand that we have high prices anyway. But the minute we do get tips,
Bro,
it's usually
you want to quickly put a shameless plug in?
But at Jumeirah Garden.
Say it loud, say it proud.
My shisha lounge that I own. Damn right. No, but our prices are high anyway, so I mean, I think so anyway. But for the quality you get, it's worth it. Regardless, when we have had tips, it's generally been men. Men are, especially when men are with women. Men give really good tips, especially on a date and stuff. But I've never had a woman give it.
Which is wild because, I don't care who I'm with. If this someone just decided that, cluck it. I don't give a fudge.
We don't care that they're recording out here.
Oh, you guys are recording a podcast? Listen to my engine. No, I was saying it doesn't matter who I'm with. Like, guaranteed, I'm gonna tip if the service was good.
So no, I completely agree. Well, whether I'm with
or if it's not in a bill, I hate when it's in the bill.
Yeah, but I won't ever get it removed from the bill. I'm too.
No. That's once it's in the bill, that's your tip.
Bro,
unless it's ridiculous.
If they've got extra stuff on there that they didn't even bring out, that I didn't even order. But if it's on the bill, it's on the bill. I don't want to be that guy that says, nah, this ain't happening. It's just okay, cool, pay it, go and cry about it later.
Bro, we are absolute dicks. I'm changing the definition of dicks. I'm saying dicks instead of pussies now, so I don't get in no trouble. You feel me?
Yeah, no.
But we are absolute dicks because, bro, come to think of it, there's been times where I've gotten rude service or no service at all, and there's been like a however many % service charge. I've never even thought to myself it was a possibility to complain.
Yeah, no, never. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been with people who are happy complainers, yeah. And as a dude that doesn't like complaining, it is embarrassing. On the other hand, I'm so glad there's someone there to complain for me because I don't want to do it myself.
No, but you know what's crazy, bro? Is like, maybe, okay, so how was your mum when you were growing up?
My mum? When we say how was she, because that's a big long topic, bro.
No.
She tucked me in the nicest places.
No, you absolute clown. No, I mean, because I remember when I was young, not so much when I got a bit older, but when I was young, my mum had no patience for these dudes. Like, not these dudes, but these people who work in these places.
Oh, yeah?
If there was ever a wrong thing in the, like, I remember one time, I shouldn't really snitch on my mum like this, but I remember one time she went to return something and she just, like, they wouldn't let her return it for, like, some stupid reason. Can't remember, I was a kid. And she just went ballistic. And at the time, I was really embarrassed. But now, if someone did that, I'd be like, yeah, you get him.
Yeah, you go. You get yours.
You get him.
Fuck the corporations.
So I'm wondering if that's what's made me such a coward now. Because I'm like, I couldn't do what she did. Like, my mum's amazing. I could never do that.
Surely you should have taken her view on it and, like, gone, yeah, that's the woman I want to be. Because if I ever grew up to be a woman, I'd want to be my mum.
Amen, brother. I know Father's Day just passed, but shout out to my mum.
Yeah, straight up.
Shout out to my mum. And Shaf's mum. Shout out to both mums.
Shout out to both our mums. 100%.
Indeed.
No, yeah, so no, my mum.
No, hold on a second.
My mum was never like that, though.
Since we just gave a shout out to our mums, let's go back to the main topic. Has a woman ever tried to put a tip in you?
Now that we're talking about mums and tips, I might have wanted to give a MILF a tip. But no. So it was intrusive and not called for. Let's just put it like that. It was not meant to happen. It was not asked for. It was not a situation that I was dreaming of. But can you imagine?
Anyone who's watching the video right now, just watch my facial expression.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, it was sexual misconduct or anything like that. Cool. Yes, I didn't ask for it, and yes, it did happen.
Bro, do we need to send out a Me Too? Because
because I'm not gonna lie, there was it may have awoken a certain part of me. we'll get to that. But no, basically things were happening. You know, an oral fixation was happening. It was lovely. It was fine. I have an issue where, and I say I won't.
Is that the correct term?
I don't know.
Okay.
But, I wouldn't call it an issue, but I find it very difficult for oral to complete me. It's just that I don't know. I've always had that thing. Don't know. Anyway, so she thought for some reason that she was some magician and she could do it, and she then realized it was a random encounter. She realized, oh shit, it's not happening. It's been about 20 minutes and nothing's happening.
So, bro, sorry to cut you. However, like, it doesn't matter, man or woman. If you hear someone says, "Oh yeah, I can just never come from, like, I can never get to where I need to go from an oral situation, oral test, so to say," hypothetically speaking, I would see that as a challenge.
That's hypothetically speaking. I'm not gonna call you out on it, and I'm gonna agree with you. Yes, if a woman told me that, I'm not gonna lie, it will be my life's aim beyond that to make sure that situation is reversed.
Cue the Rocky montage, just me training.
I'll be training, bro. Doing tongue push-ups, doing little barbells with the tongue. Like...
What kind of madness?
Train, because eventually, when you're using your hands and your wrists and they start getting tired, you're gonna be training that stuff. Make sure you're doing the grip things, like all of that. So I'm assuming it became like a challenge for her. Like, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get this done. So I guess her only way was to push the button, and to try and push the button deep. Now, I'd never been in this situation before. I'd never fantasized about my arsehole being touched at that point. And
why would you go so far to use the word fantasize? Jeez, man.
Yeah, because some people, bro, that's some people's fantasy. That's cool. Like, if that's what, but I will never, and this is something, I don't kink shame. Anybody got a kink, as long as you can do it safely, go for it. But
the word fantasize is real strong, man. So I've never fantasized about having my butthole touched. Like, no. Damn, son, I wasn't ready.
No, the only time I touch my butthole is when I'm cleaning it, bro. And that's the only time it really should be touched.
I hear that.
And then, all right, cool. So, yeah, bro, it was almost like one of them Chinese finger traps.
Sorry, bro. I forget that you can't see me sometimes. I'm just doing this.
So you can imagine, and then it just clamps. Because, bro, I didn't expect it. It was out of the blue. The finger went places. I clamped hard. Like, I couldn't, like, it was awkward. You can imagine something sliding in when it shouldn't be sliding in. You just tense up.
Bro, my imagination is really powerful, bro. You can't do that to me. Because I imagine, I can't do it on the video, just in case. But I imagine a Chinese finger trap. Someone going in and not being able to come out.
Because I was clenched, bro. It hurt. Whoa. It hurt. It was unexpected. It felt violating. I'm laughing, but it felt violating. Yeah. And then she's there screaming, "Oh, my hand! Let me go! Let me go! My hand!" Speak your truth, brother. She's trying to pull out, and as she's trying to pull out, it's wiggling, so it's making me clench harder. And
just like a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah. So,
also, is we're allowed to say that, right? That's like politically correct and stuff, right?
That's a good question, bro. Are we ever politically?
I mean, that's what they were called.
Bro. Yeah, I know, but I mean, they had the variant of this coronavirus variant, Delta. It was called the Indian variant, but we had to stop calling it that. So God knows.
All right. Well, cool.
But the finger trap. Yeah, it felt like so. No. Yeah. Unfortunately, I've had a situation where a woman gave me the tip and didn't end well.
Just a lot, bro. I'm taking it all in. Apparently, figuratively and literally.
The first time it happened, the dude tried to give me a tip.
Slap that shit out of his hand.
Bro, we were fighting, would you believe? Yeah. He taking me down, you're a small guy, take me down.
Wait, hold on a second. I thought you were joking. You're being serious here.
being serious. So
Tell the story.
This is back in college days or high school.
Yeah,
days,
you know how it is. Yeah.
We're fighting over football. Don't ask me why. They're stupid. Yeah, we're fighting over football. Dude takes me down. Small guy, but he takes me down. Yeah, annoying. Anyway, so I'm covering up. I'm pushing him off. Whatever. I don't know what the hell happened to this guy. I get back up. Yeah. And I get him into a headlock. So he's bent down, right? And next thing I know, he reaches around his hand around my arse and just does 1,000 poke. What is it? The 1,000 years pain, where the Kakashi does the. Yeah. It was in front of everyone. I know that he was.
That was his goal.
Oh, he was branded how I don't want to use the politically correct term, so I'm just going to use the term that he was, and I quote, he was branded a batty boy. And I quote is what I'm saying. A
little chichi man.
The fight stopped very quickly, and I had to run to the toilet because I was turtling at that point, and I really needed to go. And then he let it make it go. After that point, though, if anybody ever, and this is whether I've been in situations where when girls are walking around or dudes or whatever, somebody tries to go for my butt, at that point I maybe turn around and punch people. I could just an auto reflex. So yeah,
bruh.
Yeah.
So speaking from my side, no one's tried me, bruh, and no one ever should. I'm telling you. I'm looking into the camera now. I'm telling you, don't try me.
He's a trained.
I'm just not into that.
Artist.
I'm just genuinely not into that. I'm not. There's nothing about it nothing. Like, it would just kill the whole vibe for me. Just nothing about it. Nothing. Just nothing. I just don't.
Yeah. And like, you know, I mean, I don't
and
know
I'm talking vice versa too. I'm talking like, it's not even like on no, because, you know, like conversations like this, people are like, oh, you know, you're being homophobic because, but no, like.
No. You're even vice versa with, at the end of the day, bro.
Yeah, and even with like girl to guy and guy to girl, like I don't like anything that involves the butthole. No, it's not me, bro. It's not me.
Fair enough.
It's not me. Both those stories you just told, if they happened to me, I'd be horrified.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them?
No, well, the first one, obviously, I was pissed. As I said, the first one, I mean, with the dude, because that was when I was younger. I was pissed. It was a fight. I don't know how the hell I ended up in that place. But yeah, it was just, I ain't spoken to that brother since. I don't know if he's alive. I mean, it doesn't bother me.
F that dude.
Which sounds really fucked up, but I couldn't care less.
No, not really. Like, seriously, that's like, I know it sounds silly, but that's sexual assault, bro. That's sexual assault.
You know what? Maybe I've never taken it like that, so I've never processed it in that way. For me, it was just it was you put somewhere incorrectly. I don't know if his aim was to do that, but I mean he did try and back up by saying, "How else am I meant to beat you? You're a lot bigger than me." So
yeah,
who knows,
bruh? Come on now.
The second situation.
Who knows? We know, bro. Come on now.
The second situation, I ain't really spoken to that person since. That was the last time we had contact with the female, and yeah, it is what it is. But that's not to say in a safe space I don't enjoy it.
It's
consensual. It's got to be consensual. When it's non-consensual, when it comes out of the blue, nah. If it's consensual, I have no qualms in exploring.
Yeah, because I was gonna say to you, why haven't you tried it since then?
Yeah, no. So in safe places, calm, no problem. I couldn't. But I mean, my butt can't take anything in. That's it. Ultimately, just bro, you know, you get them. What they're gonna give you? Enemas, where they're gonna clean your butt out and stuff like that. If there anything,
yeah.
Nah,
they shoot some water up there and all that jazz.
I can't do it. Nah. It feels freaky. It feels wrong.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I'm just weird about my butt. Just please don't touch my butt.
Yeah.
Like you can touch my cheeks.
No.
But you know,
you could even probably touch my hole, and I'm okay with that. But don't go further.
Nah, man. I'm good. No.
Have you ever tried it though?
No, and I don't want to.
That's closed-minded, bro.
No.
You're being closed-minded.
No. I just know I don't like it.
You can't know without knowing.
Yeah, but that's like the same with the like, oh, you haven't been with a dude, so if you're with a dude, you would know.
That's right, bro.
No,
you should be sucking a dick and finding out whether you want to continue sucking it.
got nothing.
Just kiss the tip. You never know.
All right, you know what? We're going to a word from our sponsors.
This is coming to you by Dildo and Fleshlight.
.com. You know, it's always like a .com, a weird fucking 100%. .com, bro.
But yeah,
bro. So from here, you had one more question for us, that will keep us kind of in the shallow end, and then from there we are gonna go into some deep cool. Talks. Where are we for time?
20 minutes, bro.
Sweet.
All right, cool. So we've got one more question.
That was a quick 20 minutes.
This is a fun question. It was like, hey guys, my girlfriend just asked for smart water. The petrol station didn't have any, so I got a Fiji water instead. What have you guys done wrong lately? That shit killed me, bro. That shit killed me. Because you know what, in the dude's mind, yeah, they're thinking, right, cool, she's asked for water. Man. It's not this specific. Okay, and yeah, she asked, cool, we're not getting it, but you know, I'll substitute it, like Tesco when you're ordering a delivery, and you've asked for apples, and they send you pears. You're like, well, it's a fruit at the end of the day. They're not too dissimilar. Whatever, calm.
It's just something simple. Just so it's like something that shouldn't even make a difference, you know.
No. But the fact that he goes, "What have you guys done wrong lately?" That must have been must have been an issue.
No. It's not even that for me. It's just the fact that question alone kind of underlines like the different positions for a man and a woman in a relationship. Hearing that, I know, like, we've all felt it. What have you done wrong lately? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've all felt 100%. That, like, I don't know. I can't think of something stupid right now, but something silly. What have you done wrong lately?
Yeah, no, I completely get it. What if you're asking me what have I done wrong lately? I think I'm.
No, I'm asking you. What have you done? You haven't done anything wrong lately?
I don't think I'm perfect.
I would just like to say I apologize for putting you in that position because you couldn't say something. Because then that's doing something wrong.
Just talking about it is going to snitch you up.
I don't know. Are we emotional like that too? And we just don't realize it? Because, you know, like we don't date dudes, so we don't realize the intricacies. And just to let you guys know, we're going to have a girl on here either next week or the week after to make it, you know. So
because we realize we mansplain a lot. We do talk from the female's perspective without actually having someone from the female's perspective to actually verify what we're saying is bullshit or not. And it most likely is bullshit.
It kind of makes it funnier, but
we're gonna tell you how to think because we're right about this.
Yeah, because one thing about men is that we will never understand women, and I'm not sure women will ever understand men because we just don't have the experience to.
100%. Like, okay, you know? take for example, like a relatively minor thing, right? But I've been in situations where you're walking down the road. You see a group of guys. They might not be hooded up. They might not be like thugged out. But you see a group of guys. You continue walking past. You probably got your phone in your hand, whatever. You don't care. It doesn't make a difference.
Wait, ordinary looking dudes? Like,
ordinary looking dudes, bro. Ordinary looking dudes. Now you're a woman. You're walking past them, and next thing you know, as you're walking past...
Hold on a second. I understand the point you're making. I would just like to say for certain people, this is why I said what kind of looking dudes. Because for certain people, maybe not now. I live in Thailand, guys. But when I lived in London at a certain age, I couldn't just walk down the street with my phone in my hand.
Hence why I said specifically good, normal looking dudes. Because I've been through them situations where I've been robbed before on street by hooded up looking dudes or gangster looking dudes, wherever it is. So I understand.
Bro, you want to snitch on him now? Because we're online, bro. We can just snitch. No, I'm kidding. No snitches.
No, but I have a couple of good stories about them. But that's a different... We'll talk about that.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
But no. So, like, ordinary looking dudes. And the situation is the girls walk by. These same dudes that have said... And nothing to me... Yeah, and I'm talking about around my workplace, like other shops that are there, dudes that like own the shops and walk... Or just like dudes that work at the shops and whatnot. Never said a word to me. Maybe minus a hello or whatever. And a girl walks past and they're catcalling. And they're trying to shoot their shot and whatnot. And it's like, as a dude, I've never had to worry. whether I go in front of a group of girls or a group of guys, I've never had to think, shit, am I about to get assaulted or am I about to get harassed?
100, bro. 100.
But for a woman, as they walk by, they have to have that, which is really unfair, but they have that anxiety of, oh shit, what now? Well, even if nothing happens, even if they weren't, the man them or whatever weren't even looking that way, even if nothing happens. I mean, I'm talking about situations where I've been with my partner, we're driving down the road. We get to a junction, we're stopped at the traffic lights. There's a couple of dudes waiting to cross the road. The window comes up. I'm like, why'd you put the window up? Them dudes are there. And it's never a thought that's across my mind as a guy. I've never had to think.
Yeah, you wouldn't even let that.
Potential danger about. But for women, unfortunately, they've been through that situation so many times where they've been harassed so many times that like they are constantly keeping their guard up when they're outdoors. And the thing is, the worst thing is, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to teach my daughter to keep her guard up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want her going uninitiated into the world like that.
Bro, it absolutely irritates me that these dudes are effing it up, absolutely effing it up for all the rest of us out
100%. Unfortunately, there are a lot of dudes
effing it up. Oh, they're effing it up.
Okay,
and they're effing it up because the main problem is, right, that the relations between men and women right now are completely just destroyed. Because an ordinary dude, if he just wants to, because our relationship between each other in the, I wouldn't say media, but in the pop culture seems a bit skewed right now because women have to be up on their guard. So now if a nice guy, I hate the phrase nice guy, but if a genuine guy is, if a genuine guy is trying to talk to them, they have to keep their guard up. And then the problem is a genuine guy, like, all right, for instance, hypothetically speaking, I do not like to bug anyone. I'm really like, one of my pet peeves is being a bug. If I feel like I'm bugging you, then you're just going to stop hearing from me altogether.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is if you got your
quiet mode.
Yeah, so if you got your guard up because you're just trying to like really like suss the situation, I'm probably gonna, okay, I don't really want to bug you. But then the guy who is willing to be the bug is probably one of those guys who then does something stupid, who then only reinforces the fact that there's a wall up in the first place.
Because women then are only ever approached by those kind of dudes. So in their mind, if they've been approached 5 or 6 times, and out of the 5 or 6 times, maybe 4 or 5 times, the dude's been like that, then in their eyes, dudes are like that because the interaction that they've had with the guys have been that way. So why rightfully do they not assume, well, then this is how all guys operate?
And then that's the thing is like, so I need to stop saying and that's the thing. Anyway, for me, if I was a girl, I'd be a pretty girl. No, I'm kidding. If I was a girl, I use that Snapchat app on myself. When I edit the video, I'm going to try and put in, when I do use that Snapchat thing on myself, I would not make a good looking girl at all. Not even a little bit.
Really?
Anyway, if I was...
When I done that Snapchat thing, I don't know, you ever watch EastEnders?
Yeah, but not enough to know what you're about to say.
Anybody that's watched EastEnders, if anybody remembers Zainab from EastEnders,
Don't worry, I'm going to Google it and I'm going to put it up in the video. And I'm going to put your face right next to it.
In fact...
it's going to be so good.
Do you know what? I will send you the picture of when I look like a girl and look like that person.
Please. All right, we'll put it up on Instagram and see who, like, we'll put a poll up and see who's slaying better. Slay, babe, slay.
I'm not going to lie, though. Despite me saying I look like Zainab, I'm with you, bro. I'll be a pretty girl.
Yeah? No, I didn't make a pretty girl, so...
I've already got the boobs for it. I just got to add the rest
to it. Bro.
And I've got the lovely hair.
If you guys don't know, listen to episode number 1. My man flexes his chest. Shaf is in the mirror flexing his chest. And now he's talking about boobs. Anyway, I was saying if I was a girl, I would actually kind of choose the guy who had no game when he was trying to talk to me. But then it's easier said than done because at the same time, you kind of want someone who's confident. You want someone who's got a bit of pizzazz.
100, because you also know, when have you ever gone for women that aren't confident themselves?
100.
Because confidence is sexy, bro. No, it doesn't matter where you lie in the spectrum. Confidence is sexy. Knowing that someone knows what they want is sexy.
There's a line for me. There's a line
arrogance,
for me,
man.
man.
Arrogance is a different story, though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because one of my biggest pet peeves is arrogance.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like French people, and I ain't even sorry.
Fuck the French.
I'm xenophobic.
Yeah, no, fuck the French. Sorry, but their road signs, their road signs are in italics, and they're in capitals, and it looks like they're being sarcastic with you. This is bad. But I know that, bro. Why are you telling me? What is the need? Why are you? I'm on your roads. I'm driving. Don't shout at me. Don't tell me sarcastically where we are.
Italic and capital. I was about to say that sounds kind of cool, and then you were like, it looks sarcastic, and I was like, yeah, it actually does.
I hate the French.
This is Paris. What do you mean this is Paris? Turn left.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dickheads.
Do I turn left or not?
Absolutely.
No left turn here. I can't do a French accent, as you can see.
I
forgot my my original point, and this is why we're OGs, bro, because I can go back. My original point was: do you feel women do anything? No, sorry, I'm all fucking it up. Do you think I'm gonna leave this in the cut? I'm just gonna leave it in.
You can't leave it in, bro.
I'm gonna leave it in. Anyway, I was saying, do you think men complain and do like when women do like stuff that you shouldn't be mad at, but you get mad anyway? And now that I said that out loud, I've actually realized a few times I've been mad over nothing.
All right, go on, give us an example.
I can't really think of anything.
The guy goes, I realized that I have been, and goes, I can't think of anything.
No, because I can just feel it in my soul. But for me, because I don't want to say emotional. I'm gonna say emotional.
Well, I thought we discussed last week. Men can't have emotions, bro.
That's why I didn't want to say emotional, because it's not emotional. I'm just in touch with my soul.
Oh, and yeah.
If I feel like someone's not giving me the hypothetically, if I feel like someone's not giving me the energy I need, I get emotional sometimes. And I know I'm being emotional over nothing, but I'm emotional.
Are you sure you're just not hungry?
Yeah, no, it's hunger.
Because there's been a few times, bro, I've seen you be impatient as a motherfucker just because of food.
Yeah, no, I'm when I'm hungry, I'm upset over everything and anything. Oh man,
bro. This guy loses his shit over nothing.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't really have road rage because most of the time I'm just cruising. I'm just cruising, but anytime I'm hungry and driving, just everyone is doing anything wrong, even though I'm probably the one fucking shit up.
I've never been hangry in my life, right? It's just not. I don't know. I just don't get hangry, right? But I've been with people who are hangry all the time. One of my colleagues at work always hangry. Like, and the thing is, I'm the guy like be like, oh, should we get food? And they're like, yeah, cool. And I'm meant to order the food, and about an hour later, they're like, yo, where's the food? I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to order it. And I couldn't get there. They're raging.
Table flip. Flip.
I never understood the whole getting emotional when you're angry, but I mean, whatever, innit?
Okay, so all right, fine. So you never get hangry. So have you ever got upset with a girlfriend, hypothetically?
Have I ever been upset? Yeah, of course, bro. Who doesn't?
No, but sorry, I mean over the little things, like, you know.
So in
she
my
bought
mind,
you a Lucozade instead of an Iron Brew. Those are two drinks for people who don't know. They're kind of similar, but they're not similar at all.
No, they're not similar at all. I'm sorry, but if someone gave me a Lucozade instead of an Iron Brew, I'm flipping tables. I'm sorry, but if I've asked for an Iron Brew and you got me like a Diet Iron Brew, fine, no problem.
Why don't you understand the woman in this question?
No. Because she asked for water, bro. She got water.
No, it's the type of water though, man.
I'm not gonna lie, different waters taste different. Evian tastes nice, Volvic tastes dead.
Volvic tastes dead?
Nah, it tastes all like bitter and
Evian does bang though, man.
Evian's like neutral.
Evian does bang. But my main point, right? Because maybe it's lost in translation. So my main point is that it seems like women can be, not all women, of course not all women.
You're about to preface a lot. Just say it with chest,
you have
bro.
to.
Say it with chest.
I can't.
Say it with chest. Say it with boobs.
No, but there's a percentage of women who are high maintenance, and my question is, are there dudes who are high maintenance too?
Do you know what? I'm sure there are dudes that are high maintenance.
Man,
they don't run in my circles.
I'm gonna run that question.
They don't run in my circles though. I'll be honest. I don't really know many high maintenance dudes. Most dudes that I know are very chill. They're like, cool, whatever.
Couldn't
get water and end up with a toffee crisp. Fine, whatever. Like, it's not that deep. You know what? The thought mattered. I still went out and got me something or whatever. Blah blah blah. I don't really know high maintenance dudes like that. But I'm sure there are.
But then it's a characteristic that's accepted in some, not all, some women.
Yeah, you know why? Because it'll be people like me and probably you that if there is someone high maintenance, will maintain it.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah. The older I've gotten, the less I have the patience for it.
Oh yeah? But the other thing is, we don't really have preferences because we're just chill, right? If people have preferences, does that really make them high maintenance?
Okay, so there's a difference in the way that, all right, so I would go into the shop, see there's no smart water, come back, be like, hey, I didn't see any smart water. I'm going to get you an Evian or another water instead.
Okay, yeah, so you ask, yeah?
And if it's like, no, I want the smart water, then it's like, well, okay, if we see another shop on the way, then maybe tell me. But if it's like completely out of the way, and the only reason I would ask is because, okay, smart water, you believe in this vitamin C stuff and all the vitamins in it or whatever, right? And that's the only reason you would be upset.
I'm not gonna lie. In my head, if I'm hearing smart water and I'm thinking, do they have like Einstein saliva in there or some bullshit like that?
Bro, I'm literally losing. Bro. I am losing the will for this conversation because of how ridiculous the smart water to like getting like different normal like mineral water.
Yeah, no, but like obviously the whole point is not really about the water, whatever, right? It's about do people get very frustrated at the most minor things in relationships?
Yeah,
and are they?
And that's the only thing keeping me on.
Yeah, and are they high maintenance or not to just push past it? And I just think generally dudes are just more chill, right? Dudes, and this obviously doesn't go with everyone because I know girls who are chill and couldn't give a fuck as well, right? But generally dudes are more chill. They don't really have preferences. They're just like, yeah, cool, whatever. It doesn't make a difference, right? And generally, women are the ones who generally tend to have preferences. They believe certain things for certain things, and they want things a specific way. There's nothing one way saying that one's correct and that one's wrong. There's nothing wrong with having specificities that you want. The issue is when it puts someone out, like you said. So like you said, the scenario where if you've got to drive to the next place, if you're driving it anyway, what difference does it make, right? If you've got to now go out of your way, can that person not just adjust themselves? That's the thing, and I do find it's going to sound crass as it is, but women generally are more difficult to deal with than dudes.
Oh, and you know what's crazy, right? What's crazy is about like the eggshells we have to walk on in a conversation like this.
Yeah.
Because my point of the relations between men and women are effed. One part of that is just the fact that we can't even talk about our differences anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Because
it's not us saying one is wrong and one is right. It's just that this is this and this is that.
Or this and, yeah, exactly. Sometimes you can't even point out observations because it comes across as personal attack.
Yeah. And that's crazy to me because, for the record, we believe men and women are equal.
100%.
However, I believe we're different though.
No, we're different due to societal upbringing, rather than anything biologically or chemically in our mind making us different, if that makes sense. In the way we think. We only think different because of the way we've been brought up to think.
And hormones.
Yeah, but the hormones, so they won't change your preferences, if that makes sense. Oh, sometimes I guess they do. But they don't make you, like, if you're a certain personality type, they generally don't shift you entirely, right?
Yeah, they do, because that's why people get hangry.
Yeah, but you might be hangry. Yeah, you might get annoyed at stuff. That doesn't make you a sour person. You understand you're being hangry. Nah, yeah, I understand I'm being hangry, but I'm being hangry.
I know. You know why? Because my hormones are now offset. Yeah, because I've skipped a meal.
But you're not there trying to like flip tables and attack people. You're not like become some sort of killer. You're just more frustrated with things, but you still laugh it off.
No, but you make it sound like women become killers because
No,
they're
but
hormones.
I'm saying, but this one, no, I'm saying the complete opposite. I'm saying hormones don't make you go from a nice, loving person to a complete deranged maniac.
No, but they do change your personality in terms of mood. I'm saying mood, mainly mood.
Mood changes,
in
cool,
this
but
case.
mood doesn't change your person. Mood is part of your person.
Yes, mood is part of your person, but for instance, you being high maintenance is kind of a mood. Do you know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Because, for instance, right, that laid back feeling, it's a lot easier for me to be laid back when I'm not hungry. When I am hungry, I'm not as laid back because my mood is different.
Okay.
So if I was in that state constantly, people wouldn't think I was a laid back person.
Okay.
They would think I was high maintenance.
Or they think you're a hungry motherfucker. This guy not eat? Is he just starving? What are we paying him for?
I like the dramatic pause you took before you said that. This guy. All right, so are we going to do something that we've never done before and put a button on this conversation? Like put a conclusion to it?
No,
or should we just move the fuck on?
We're not even going to put a conclusion. We're just going to be like, all right, cool.
Let's just leave it there?
Some women generally have more preferences than most men. And due to that, most men make mistakes because most men think, oh, it's not an issue if we don't get the person's preference as long as we're doing something, as long as effort is put in. But for women, it has to be a specific effort.
Yeah, and that's mean. That's all I have. That's mean.
Whether it's right or
and
wrong,
that's the conclusion we came to. It's mean.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
On the editing, I just want to put a note to put like a stamp here saying that's mean. I'm making notes midway now.
Excellent.
Fudge it.
Thank God you can.
All right. I'm keeping it all in. Anyway, we're moving on now. We're gonna get into the deep section. What's the time, bro?
Right, it is 6:15 over here.
No, not the time of day, man. What are we doing on time, bro?
45 minutes, bro.
I don't give a fuck about your time, bro.
We got about 15 minutes.
All right, sweet. So you got 20 minutes to talk about it? You can do 20?
All
right, sweet. Let's do 20. All right. So I was thinking, I'm really trying to pronounce my THs, you know. I got a horrible, horrible accent. I was thinking that, I don't know what brought me to this thought, but I was just, I don't know. Maybe I was watching something. Who knows? Anyway, my question for the deep section is, are you afraid of death?
Ooh, you're going there.
I'm going there.
Okay.
On episode number 3, baby.
Ooh. What are we going to talk about in the next episode? Bro, I think we're sprinting in this podcast, and when we decide to slow down to like catch our breath, you know, people are going to be like, "Hey, you lot changed, bro."
Nah, we're going in.
Going in. Am I scared of death? I can conclusively tell you about 5 years ago, I was not scared of death.
Oh. Shit. What changed?
Throughout most of my life, I wasn't scared of death. And I would say that in the last few years, I've become scared of death. And now recently, in the last 2 or 3 years, I think about death a lot. And it scares the shit out of me.
In the last 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. So
okay, I've noticed one key factor in your life. I'll see if you say it before I say it.
Yeah, go on.
But one key factor that changed within the 5 years. But why do you think those 5 years changed your outlook on death?
So it's genuinely down to my belief in God or a lack thereof, religion and a potential hereafter or not hereafter.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, because of course before you were religious, and now you've kind of segued away from that.
But for those that
word, but you know.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I was highly religious. And I mean, there was a point in my life where I wanted to become an imam. You know, there's a point where I wanted to go to university in Cairo and do Islamic studies and blah blah blah. And now I'm at a point, I would say about 13 years later.
Am I correct saying that's like a Muslim priest?
That is, yeah, no, you're right. So yes. Yeah, okay. But it's a very similar,
I've always thought it's that. I've never actually asked though.
They lead prayers. They lead prayers, and they're generally looked up to by the community for answering questions about what stuff that's going on, stuff that people like want to get clarity. There we go. Clarity on.
Believe me, we are both English native speakers.
Yeah, no, I promise you. I might have been born in Halifax though, so that might be the reason why.
Yeah, I have no
excuse. All you can talk about is money, bro.
Well played.
But yeah, no. So for me, it was so it's a drastic change from then. And as I've kind of grown out of religion, and the belief in God, what's funny is beforehand, I guess for me, it's down to the male ego, or not even the male ego, sorry, human ego, of knowing that there's something beyond death. But before I get to that, what about you? I'm going to ask you that same question.
No.
Are you scared of death?
And oddly enough, I don't think I've ever been.
Really?
And I really have no idea why. I am scared of the pain.
Okay.
So if someone told me I was gonna die in 2 days, and it was gonna be painless, then I would just make sure that my 2 days are in order. I'll probably do some crazy stuff just to do some crazy stuff. But
what would be the final thing you eat before death?
The final thing I eat?
Yeah.
Probably a burger.
Just a burger.
That's my favorite food, so it might just be a burger. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
It wouldn't really like. I don't know. It makes me sound boring, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie.
What would you eat?
As hell. A swan, bro.
No, burgers so. Why would you eat a swan?
Because in the UK, swans are all owned by the Queen, and you can get done in jail if you try and touch a swan, let alone eat a swan. So if I'm gonna die anyway, and I'm on death, well, I'm practically on death row because I'm about to die, I want a swan, bro. I want a swan curry made by my mum.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, nah, meh.
Swan, bro. I mean, I could give you another thing that I'd want to eat before I die, but I don't know if that's appropriate for the beef section. But this time it ain't got to do with my mum.
So I will tell you. So I've tried to obviously ponder different reasons as to why I might not be bothered about death.
Yeah.
I haven't come to no big conclusion yet, but I'll tell you some different reasons. I just want to hear what you were going to say first.
In terms of why I'm scared now.
Yes.
So I'd go. Okay, so the reason I wasn't scared before is with religion. Generally, no matter what religion you have, as long as you believe in some sort of faith, there's either a karmic, whether it's a universe or religious aspect of life beyond death. So the human body dies, the soul survives. There is a soul, it survives, whether it's reincarnation, whether you go into purgatory, whether you go into heaven or hell. There's always something that goes on beyond, and that's been through societies and through religions throughout the ages of humanity. So when you have like a concrete belief in a religion and or a god, doesn't matter if there's a god involved or not, because Buddhism has reincarnation without a god. You have this staunch belief that, yeah, cool, I know I'm a human, I know I'm going to die at some point. My ego may not be able to like the fact that I'm going to die, I'm going to stop living, but I also know that I'm going to continue on. So it's like, well, death is just a part of that journey. And for a lot of people, if they're, Judeo-Christian, Islamic beliefs, the human life is about 80, 90 years, but beyond death is an unlimited amount of time. So really, it's just a tiny portion of their actual survival. And so it's not scary to know that you're about to die because you're about to go and meet your Lord, because you're about to meet angels or whatever, and you're about to live another life beyond that. And you hope that you live in the right way forward.
The hope.
Yeah. So for me, growing up religious, it was like, there wasn't even a 2-second thing about it. It's like, yeah, of course. It's all right if I die, I don't mind. If that's my destiny, because destiny is another part of religion that's quite an interesting one. Where it's like, well, in Islam anyway, your death is written before you're born by God. So the way you're meant to live your life, how rich you're going to be, amount of marriages you're going to have, children, and where and when and how you die is all written. So I'm sure my brother actually wants to be a part of this podcast. He wanted to jump on an episode, which I thought would be quite interesting.
Dope. Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
And so he'll be the better one to explain that stuff because he's very religious. And for him, for that religion aspect, is because,
I don't think he'll enjoy the shallow end.
I mean, maybe not.
we'll just start the episode. All right, do you like dicks? Sorry, go on, bro.
What about if they're...
I'm gonna have to bleep you. Yeah, you're gonna have to get bleeped. I'm gonna have to watch this whole episode now. All right, anyway, go on.
and so because you've got that strong belief of, right, there is going to be something afterwards. I know it doesn't matter when I'm going to die because it's already written for me by God. It doesn't matter how I'm going to die. If someone kills me, someone kills me. If I get run over, I get run over. It doesn't make a difference if I'm 30 or if I'm 90. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to move on to the next thing. It's already written for me, so I can't escape my destiny. When you can't escape your destiny, you learn to accept it. You learn to embrace it. When you no longer think you have a destiny, when you no longer think there is something out there looking after you, judging you, or whatever, when you no longer believe there is life beyond death, and actually beyond death is nothing, just as the way it was before you were born, that there was nothing, there's no consciousness before birth, so therefore there's no consciousness post-death, that scares the living crap out of my ego. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me want to leave something on this planet that people remember me by. One, it gives me that sort of thing where I want to be like, actually, I don't want to be useless. I don't want to die a death where no one gives a fuck.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Yeah, go on.
Because a very sad truth in that, and I don't know, it's funny to me. I find it funny, and maybe I'm psycho. But the funny part is, everyone wants to leave like their footprint left on this earth or whatever, and you know, legacy and yada yada yada. But give it enough years and it will be forgotten.
100%. Bro, out of the about 100 billion people that have ever been on this planet, you can probably name a good maybe 1,000 in total in terms of people who have left a legacy. Out of the 100 billion. Bruv, we're not going to be remembered. We are going to be forgotten. It isn't. But yet for some reason, even though I know that, even a simple thing of I want my kids to be able to talk about me after I'm dead is enough.
Oh no, and that's dope. That's dope. Because I honestly try to live my life as if I was to die, then the stories that all my friends and people who know me, the stories they will tell my children would be good stories.
Yeah.
So I try to live my life in ways that people can be like, oh, he was this and he was that, if my kids never get a chance to know me, you know?
Yeah. And for me, that's important. But because there's the ego thing of, shit, there is nothing beyond this. It is this and nothing else. Wow. It gives me anxiety daily of thinking, but if I die, that's it. And that scares me. That scares me to know that my mind can't live beyond that.
So I think I remember why I thought about this question. You hear me pronouncing the fudge out of them THs?
You best be pronouncing them correctly, damn it. We're English born.
I want some water. Oh my gosh. You know how many people tried to copy me saying water and they did so horrible?
What, in Thailand?
Water.
It's become a meme now. It's become a meme.
Oh, it's so it actually upsets me when people can't do it correctly.
No, like, just next time you're like, I want some water.
Yeah. Just completely remix it. But I remember why I thought about this, because for me personally, I believe there is something after this, full stop. Okay. Don't know what it is, just think it's something after this. Whether we're recycled on this planet or we're recycled on another planet, and I don't know, because I always F up this phrase and I might need you to say it for me because I'm so, bro, my eyes are burning. Energy cannot be
created or destroyed.
And because it cannot be created or destroyed, we have to go somewhere, because we have this kind of not mystical, because it makes it sound like I'm all being hippie and stuff, but we have this unexplainable energy that animates us, that actually makes us alive. Because in theory, we should be able to...
The assumption is that there is an energy that is making us, like, the assumption is we have a soul, right? Or it may not be in the classical sense of a white spirit.
Now,
or soul,
this may not be true, but one thing that freaked me out that I heard recently, this was maybe 6 months ago to a year, someone was like, they weigh people, and when people die, they are lighter, about 200 grams lighter when they die.
Okay. Is that not due to gases escaping? Because we've got a lot of gases in our body, and we've got a lot of muscles keeping those gases in. And the minute
all I have to do is shrug, bro. Because if that was the case, then they would just say it's the gases.
I'll do some research. I'm not gonna lie, this is something that I haven't heard of before, so that is something I will definitely check.
It's something I heard, and to be honest, maybe I haven't researched it because I want it to be true. However, like I said, the reason I came up with this question is because someone then challenged me and said, "Yeah, but honestly, what if there is nothing?" And you've said that to me before, but for some reason I didn't take it in my soul. And when this person said it, I took it in my soul. And I was like, if there was nothing, it still doesn't bother me. And it doesn't bother me because we don't even really know why we're here. If anything, the actual you could have died ages ago, and this could all be a dream.
I mean, possibly.
my only fear would be is if they told me that when we do die, we are consciously living in nothing. Because I wouldn't want to consciously live in nothing.
And
as also, be aware I am living in nothing.
There's only so many times a man can wank to nothing before it gets boring.
That's what I'm saying. So you're like, if I die and I'm just, my conscious is in this black dark space, and that's just me for eternity, then that is true hell to me.
That is actually hell though. But that is also so if you had a consciousness and it died, then it goes back to the point of, well, what created the purpose of that consciousness in the first place? Because if you die and the consciousness is just floating about in nothingness, and why would it be nothingness? Why wouldn't it be Earth? Something's then transported our consciousness from our body to this place. Then there's got to be a reason behind that.
Yeah. And so my thing is, even if there was absolute nothingness that I'm not conscious of, aka I just cease to exist. No more thoughts, no more anything. I just do not exist anymore. I'm so okay with that, dude, because I'm not aware of that. I'm gone.
Well, I mean, ultimately,
and that sounds really sad, but it's just what it is.
Ultimately, if you're dead and there is nothing, cool. That you won't even know you're dead, if that makes sense. You'll cease to exist, right? I understand that, and yet still, the prior to the dying part, I don't want to die, bro. Like, I was speaking about this actually recently with someone, and they were like, they do not want to live to 500 if there was an option to. They'd want to die.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either.
When they're 80, 90, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And for me, I was like, I would happily live to 500. I don't know what my body would be like, don't get me wrong. But as long
even if your body was okay, I don't think you would want it.
As long as
you would have to constantly go through your friends dying, your family dying, everyone you know dying. Like, if other people live to 500, would you? Maybe.
No,
but
at one point,
then you'll get sick.
You become numb to the idea of relationships, right? Because you know it's just gonna pass.
Yeah, and then so you kind of like make yourself alone. You've kind of learned anything you really want to learn.
I don't know. 500 years is enough to learn, bro. This is the point I was making. That I could just continue to learn for 500 years, and I'd love that,
bro. How I'm not gonna expose your age here, but in the time you've been alive, do you feel like you've learned everything? You think you've utilized that time to learn everything you need to learn?
No, I haven't.
So you feel like in that 500 years, a general life won't distract you from that?
100%. There'll be a huge portion of it where whether it's you having to work, whether it's you having to take care of like other things or whatever, 100% that would take into part of it, but it still gives you more time to learn. What you do with that knowledge? Because this is what I got a question, but what would you do with the knowledge? And I was like, I don't actually have a desire to do anything with knowledge. I just like learning.
Do you feel like people are more accomplished now that we live as long as we do? Because of course there was a time where people died at like 20.
Yeah. And
that was just the usual thing.
Yeah. And so they could only learn however much they could learn up until 20 and then khalas, or 40 and khalas. And when you look
it's not even so much learn, but they could only experience live
what they can
experience so much.
Yeah. Exactly. And I feel like we live more fulfilled lives than them. I feel like
you really think so?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we have generally deeper connections then, because we don't expect the connection to just wither away instantly.
I disagree, because I don't think people utilize their time here at all. And I'm not even trying to be up on my high horse, because I do the same. Because
I love doing fuck all.
Yeah, you kind of get complacent because of how long we have to live, which is why, the typical sayings of like there is no tomorrow and blah 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 is mainly set on please live for the freaking moment. But we can't live for the moment, because there is a tomorrow, and there is a 10 years, and there is a 20 years, and there is a 30 years. Whereas, of course, everyone who back in the day lived to only 30 years old didn't live their life to the fullest either.
Okay, but there's experiences that they wouldn't treasure or be able to treasure. For example, if you're only living to 30, and let's say you only have, this is why a lot of people used to get married at 13, 14, 15, right? And have children straight away from young. But that's all you're going to see is a small cycle of your child's life. Whereas as people who are currently now grandparents in their 80s, 90s, they've been able to, whether they enjoyed it or not, but being able to raise children and see their children's children and partake in that. And I believe that experience is worth so much more, despite the fact that there's maybe other things that they've procrastinated and missed out
on. I understand.
And that's something that you couldn't get if you're dying at 30. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There probably are 30-year-old grandparents. People be getting teenage pregnancies.
No, but I know what you mean. I'm just saying, if you were the only one to live to, everyone has to live to 500 for that to make sense.
No, I don't mind everyone dying. Because you wouldn't want to live to 500. I don't mind everyone dying beforehand.
your kids will die, your grandkids will die. Everyone will kind of die in front of you, and especially if you are someone who is afraid of death, it would just be such a it just wouldn't be.
But this is what I am okay with, is other people dying. It sounds really callous. But I imagine when I get a phone call from my brother or sister, they're there to remind me, they're there to tell me, by the way, something's happened to mum or grandma or aunt or whatever. Like instantly, funny enough, it's usually a female. It's never really a male. I couldn't care less if they told me. It sounds so wrong. But like,
I thought you were saying in your mind, like men don't die.
No, men don't.
We're men. We do not die.
Men don't die. Every time a particle of semen is released from our body, it's another bit of our spirit that will allow us to live forever. But yeah, no, it's and I've imagined a scenario many times, and look, I don't know how I'll react to it if or when it does actually happen. I say if it will happen, unless I die before that. But I'm okay with the thought of other people dying. It sounds really callous, but I'm okay with it because I understand people die. I understand people's lives. Halas. Like, it just happens, yeah? People die. It is what it is, yeah?
Bro,
I don't want to die, though.
You're all over the place, bro.
I don't want to die.
I understand people die. It's just something that happens. It's natural. But I don't want to die.
Yeah. Like, it saddens me to think that I will die. It's so egotistical. It's so narcissistic.
I don't know. It's like, yeah, because for instance, you saying you want to leave your footprint on the earth, kind of, so to say. For me personally, I kind of want to, and I need to remind myself all the time, because the subconscious is in a constant battle with my conscious mind, and I don't know. Me personally, I like to believe my conscious mind is smarter than my subconscious.
You're funny.
But who knows? Because
if your conscious mind was so clever, your subconscious mind wouldn't have to breathe for you. Your conscious mind forgets to breathe,
right?
Bro. Conscious mind is you are snoring, and you're trying to breathe, and your subconscious telling you, please open your mouth and breathe, and you're there, and then you have to go and wake up like choking on your breath. And that's your conscious.
And this. The only reason I'm talking the I'm talking now is because this is my conscious mind choosing to make these decisions.
100%.
Which is a sign, because the man who knows something knows that he knows nothing at all.
100.
And I think I know something. But my point is, I like to believe that life is just like it's a journey, it's an experience. Like, one kind of funny thing I had when I first heard
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop you there. Please put that onto like a neon sign and and make sure you drop it into IKEA so every girl can buy.
Damn
that.
Right. No.
Right
F that. It's gonna be tattoos.
Love.
It's gonna be the tattoos that you put next to your wrist.
Life is a journey.
Darn you, sir. Darn you. No, but oh man, you made me lose my train of thought completely.
I'm sorry, but that's the wackest quote I've heard in a while. Life, yeah, damn right, life's a journey. There's nothing.
Well, no, it's more. It's a journey. It's an experience. Unfortunately, I don't have any other words than that. My whole point is, when I first heard the simulation theory, aka that we are in a simulation and maybe the real us exists somewhere else, or who knows what. But in my mind, my first thought was, how do I know that the me in the real world didn't save his whole life to play this game called life or Earth one singular time?
Okay.
He saved his whole life for this experience. And now that he's put this helmet on, and now he's been born into Earth, and his name is Sean.
Can I just ask, why the fuck you would include life with the amount of bullshit and being as poor as we are to start with? Bro, why couldn't you have made me a king in your game?
What, like when you start off straight away?
Yeah, why'd you have to make me down to like doldrums of society and then have to try and work my way up? Why is there
because
Why is
because
there
because
who told you to do that?
Because we are both avid video gamers. We might not play heavy now anymore, but we used to play video games. And
I mean, I still play
any game
all the time.
Any game where I've ever used cheats and just immediately had all the money or all the guns or whatever, the game is not fun whatsoever.
Yeah, that's because you're not getting the dopamine. That's
so
because you're not getting the effect of doing something and gaining reward from it.
So my line of thinking in this analogy is the fact that if I've been put here, I'm not going to be put here with like a super easy life, because to be fairly honest, no matter where you're born or who you are, your life isn't easy.
No, 100%. Even if you're millionaire, billionaire, your life ain't easy because you've got expectations upon you. You've got
because you've got your own demons, and everyone has your demons, and that's the tricky part. Is even for the billionaires, it's funny because everyone looks to them like, why are you upset?
Yeah,
you've got $1 billion.
What did it take them
or
to
even
get
$1 million?
And
or if they were born into it, but it's still like, why are you unhappy? But it's like, imagine being born with no real need to have ambition to go upwards.
No, I think billionaire kids will have even more ambition, because when you've got parents who become billionaires, but what can you do to gain their approval?
To gain their approval, and two, everything you do, people turn around and will just say, "Hey, but you had all the resources and all the money to do so, and blah blah blah."
So your aim would actually, your ambitions would be insane, but they would be a different level. Like, I mean, I would like to assume
it depends on the person,
lovely egotistical filled world, that if I was a billionaire son, I would try and cure world peace and shit.
That should be your Instagram bio. trying to kill world peace and shit.
Like, I think look, it goes from the fact that me and you, let's say our ambitions are to be able to provide a comfortable life for ourselves and our potential future children and misses or misters or whatever it is, right? Like, that's us, but when that's fulfilled, your ambitions are loftier. Your ambitions be, how do I change the world around me? How do I blah blah blah, how do I bring betterness to the society that I'm in, or even if it's more ego driven, it's like, how do I make it so that everyone reveres me? Like, and generally to do that you have to do something that helps society, whether it's create a new platform or blah blah blah. You have to do something that gives you that validation and whatnot. So I think it just changes.
In my opinion, you'll never be happy.
But who would ever be truly happy?
What is true happiness?
Content. You can be content.
You can, and that's kind of why I say that's kind of why I am.
But that doesn't make you happy.
that's kind of why I say the typical and stereotypical cheesy ass line. Life is a journey or an experience or whatever.
And what, try and enjoy?
There's no real rules here. Yeah, it's just literally just try and enjoy and experience everything that you can while you can.
But also at the same time, you
That's
also
that's
understand you're
kind of
part
the
of a system. You're not outside of the system. You're part of the system that kind of demands you to work.
Do you mean
yourself.
Society?
Huh?
Are you talking about society in general?
Yeah, in society in general, like you're
100%, 100%. But you're a part of the society, and if you're born a millionaire, billionaire, and you don't really have the financial struggles, like, okay, yeah, you can of course have ambitions, because realistically, if someone just gave me 100 million out of nowhere tomorrow, I'm gonna accept it. But other than that, it's like, I'm gonna feel so like empty from it. Because it's like I was saying about the video game analogy. If I just used the cheat code and got this money out of nowhere, I kind of get bored. I'm bored of the game. I'm bored of the game. Like any game that I've done that for, I don't even want to play it anymore. Because there's no dopamine release. There's no nothing, you know?
I get that. But I do believe that, but that's a video game, bro. You play a video game specifically for endorphin releases. I don't know if we live life specifically for endorphin releases.
We don't. Okay, for instance, right? You play a game, yes, there are endorphin releases, but kind of, and this is why I think, and I'm sorry for all the people who don't play games who will not understand this, but that's why the open world aspect got so big.
Yeah.
Because once they opened it, where in most video games you can literally pretty much run anywhere you want or do what you want, it's just the fact that you now get put into this world that you can go and experience.
Yeah.
And the whole point of that is we're put into this world with no specific rules other than a few.
That's not true. We've been given rules by our mentors.
By our mentors?
Correct. Whether it's parents, whether it's family members, whether it's teachers, we're given rules.
But even with those rules, tell me what rule is stopping you from experiencing life before you die? With your limited time here on Earth, what is stopping you from going and enjoying life?
Like a video game. Let's say you do want to get to the next. So take for example GTA. Yeah, you start off on one island. You want to get to the next part of the island, right? You have to go through the story and level up your character. Essentially, it's not exactly leveling, but level up your character or gain enough experience to move on to the next thing. You don't really have the ability to just jump to the next island without having to go through the experiences, i.e. having to learn the rules and figure out how the game works. You need to, while you have an open box game, you also need to understand, how do I play the game? You can't just open up a game and go, right, I'm just going to do whatever, because you're still limited by what the devs have allowed you to do. You're still limited by the things that the developers have said you can and can't do, and the physics they've implemented. So for me, like, you wake up in this world, you eventually learn consciousness, or you gain consciousness per se. You become self-conscious. You're then taught how to communicate with other people. You're then taught how to play with other people, how to talk to other people, how to have relationships with other people. And you assume that's the right way to do it, so you go by doing that. You get to a point where you're told, right, cool, it's time for you to learn to kind of live your own life. You need resources for it. Like a video game, you need like to obtain resources to be able to build stuff, or to be able to go and experience stuff. You can't do it with no resources.
And that's kind of my point. But where I might be confusing this conversation or getting this conversation mixed up is I'm saying there's no rules. There are rules. You're right. That's why, there are rules. But it's still to my main point of that this is all a journey or an experience. AKA, this is why I brought up the video game analogy in the first place, is the fact that this is kind of the video game. Because back in the day, they would give you a booklet with a video game, like a little manual that you can read through and kind of understand how to play and what's going on.
Even touch the disc, I need to read it. Cover, back to front.
Nerd. and then eventually at some point they just told you enough of the controls. Like there was no book, and they just gave you enough information for you to kind of figure it out as you go along, which is kind of what happens in life.
That got to the main screen and always went to the options first and the settings first.
Wait, say that again?
Would you be the guy that when you get to the main screen, you put in the game for the first time, you go to options and settings first?
Nah, never.
Oh, see, my brother hated it.
Unless it was graphical, unless it was something that can change the graphics in it, then nah.
I needed to read through every option possible and everything and figure out why they put in this and blah, blah, blah before I even touched the game.
Which is probably why you want to think so deeply about life. However, we are here, and that's what I mean by it's a journey, as an experience. We get what we it's kind of to a point where you kind of get taught along the way, and you kind of get your own experiences that kind of teach you how to be who you either want to be or who you need to be to deal with the circumstances of your like experience.
Yeah.
And you go on and you experience, and you can choose to look at it like bleak. Like for instance, some people may call me an optimist in this, but I don't believe I'm optimistic. I'm just seeing it as like, where's negativity going to get me right now?
100%. Because there are a lot of people who live their life through negativity because they believe that allows them to progress.
You think so?
I think that, like you were talking about with Mike Tyson, they live with a chip on their shoulder, right? The negativity allows them for them to be ruthless in certain situations to get far.
But I don't think they've made that a choice though. I wouldn't agree that's a choice that's like, yeah, this is gonna help me get far. No, it's
not a conscious choice.
Thing
it's
they
definitely
can't
a subconscious
get over.
Because
yeah,
they've obviously been
100%.
negative in situations before. It's allowed them to get what they want, like a Karen at a shop. Customer service says no, she becomes all Karen-like, and then they eventually have to give in. We've seen that happen at O2 while we used to work at O2. And we saw that happen where the most annoying customers would get kind of what they wanted to, despite us not wanting to give it to them, because the managers didn't want to deal with it, so they just give them whatever. And once you reinforce that, your body automatically probably goes, right, cool, next time a situation arises, I know how I have to be to get what I want. So yeah, consciously they probably don't, but subconsciously.
Yeah, subconsciously they believe that negativity will get them far. And that's the thing, is it leaks through into other places in your life, and it stitches you up until eventually you learn your lesson to climb out of that. And that's kind of my point, is to me, life is very much like a video game in the way it's like you can keep battling this stage in your life, but you're only going to kind of reach the same hurdles until you eventually figure out how to overcome this. And that is the experience. And if at the end of the day, that means you get nothing, as in like cutscene credits, end game, game over, fade to black, so be it.
Well, this is
because
the worst part,
when I'm asleep, bro, I love sleeping. I love it so much.
I absolutely love it. And I love the dreams that I have when I sleep because they're crazy.
And imagine you just have that for eternity.
But that's
just keep playing you different shows.
The assumption is that there is consciousness that continues. If there was consciousness that continues, and it could be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt beforehand, trust me, I would be so happy to die. There's some nights. For me, there's some nights where I go to sleep, I close my eyes, and then all of a sudden it's morning. Yeah. And I have no recognition of it me being asleep. It was just that, like, I was that asleep. That to me, is probably how death is.
And that's my point, is to me, if that is death, I don't care either.
Look,
I just genuinely don't care.
Ultimately, that's like you're looking at it in a very nihilistic way. So obviously that means that, like, ultimately there's no, if there is nothing.
By the way, that's not what I believe happens. It's just if that is what happens,
if that's what happens, it's nihilistic. If there is nothing, then there's really no meaning behind it. So what difference does it make, right? So if it's gonna happen to you, it's gonna happen. You got to go through it. I completely agree. If it is the case where there is nothing, but it's still, for some reason, my ego can't handle the fact that there is nothingness. I feel like we've worked too much and we've done so much stuff as people, individuals, that there should be something more. And maybe it's growing up as a religious person, believing so badly that there was something beyond this, and then having grown out of religion and kind of coming to the assumption that, well, if there isn't a religion and there isn't a God, then there isn't an afterlife, and it actually hurts to assume that there isn't one, then because I'm so used to the peace of the afterlife, not having it has given me a lack of peace. I wish I could be in your situation where you're like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Because I see it as like, if anything, if there is nothing, absolutely nothing, zero after this, then that should be more reason to actually experience this chance you have to be something.
I agree. And that should be the case whether there is something or isn't something. You should still learn to live your life as much as you want in the best way possible. No, because
that's kind of when there's the idea of eternity a little bit on the other side. It's like, yeah, okay, well, I'm still going to live forever after. It's...
It makes shit easier, doesn't it? You're like, hey, it's 8 years here. I've got my whole life there.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be as good as I can be, and I'm gonna like work 9 to 5, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with working 9 to 5. I'm saying if you're in a job that you don't like and you're just doing that back to back because you feel like you have to, because you're kind of just streamlining life, to me, that's the saddest thing of there being nothing after this.
Because okay, but in a weird
horrible
way, if there's nothing after this, right, and you live life thinking there's nothing after this, and all you did was work your 9 to 5, pay your rent, have a kid or two, whatever, and just spent your whole life trying to just surviving, right, and never really enjoying and living experiences and enjoying life, yeah. If that was the case,
I just want to say, when it comes to experience things, I'm not saying that you need to be someone who goes and travels and does this and fucking, but like, there's nothing wrong with living a 9 to 5. It's just that I know of a lot of people who live a 9 to 5 and they have nothing else going for them, and they're in a job they do not like,
they can't stand
and you might have the 2 kids and you don't even really like embrace sometimes having 2 kids and play with them, and
because you have to be in this, you got to be working this office job or whatever it is to be able to pay for these kids. That truthfully, you
come back, you're too tired to play with them because you're not really like buzzed in life. Like sometimes I just feel like when my motivation's low, I feel tired because my motivation's low, but I'm not tired.
Yeah.
So
now I was gonna say, like, what's worse is those people living that life and in the end there's nothing, or living life assuming that there's something at the end and doing it in a religious sense, so being extremely practicing and abstaining from a lot of desires that you may have wanted, or for a lot of experiences that you wanted to live, but actually you're like, no, my religion says I should do X, Y, and Z, blah 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 instead, and then you die and actually there's nothing. What's like, is it the fact that you live life at least with a purpose, in the sense of if you had a religion, so therefore at least you lived what you assumed was a fulfilled life up until the point where you die and then actually there's nothing? Or is it that living the unfulfilled life and dying going, well, at least I'm at peace now because there's nothing?
I think if you're living life to the religion correctly, as most religions seem to be, then you will get experiences in life just from
100%.
Being a part of that
100%.
religion. In terms of, you should really embrace your family, you should embrace love, you should embrace
love thy neighbor,
all the good things the world has to offer, and so if you are someone who is practicing and you are practicing love, because God is love, then you're good.
That awkward
Do you know
moment,
what I mean?
That awkward moment when you die and it's the wrong religion. And that actually there was a God out there and there was a religion out there, and we skipped it entirely. If the worst thing it could be some next alien religion, and we had no idea.
My genuine belief is, if God exists, I believe God exists. I believe there's something out there. I don't know if you would call him God or whatever, but my belief is that the way the world has been made and created, he should know everything that's going to happen. So he 100. Should be aware that people are going to believe in him, but just in kind of incorrect ways.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have a conversation with you to tell you I exist or whatever, and you're kind of aware of me, I don't know, like, can you imagine, like, someone's heard of me? Like, you guys, like, a load of people keep talking about me to one person.
Yeah.
And to this one person, they might have thought, like, I was Chinese or white or... Do you know what I mean? And then the day I meet them and they're like, oh
shit,
you're not white? Like, no, I'm not. Out. I'm black. If they're like, if they reject me after that, racism, then cool. That's on you. But if God ever shows his face to you and it's clearly not a face that you were believing in originally, then
you'd like to assume that God wouldn't be so much of a troll to just chuck you away. You'd like to assume that God would be like, all right, well, at least you tried.
Imagine that. At least you tried.
Look, you might not have gotten me the smart water, but at least you tried. You got me the Fiji water, right?
What have you done wrong lately? So I brought God Fiji water. He was upset.
Wow, man! Now I'm down in the hell.
So we always do a loop, and the loop signifies the absolute end of the show. That was episode 3 of Keeping Up With Nothing. You want to say anything before we close out?
Nah, man. Let us know, because you lot sent us some great questions. So keep up with the questions
and feedback.
And the feedback has been incredible. So keep up with the feedback as well, please. And we've got loads of suggestions for guests as well. If anybody would like to be a guest, hit us up on the Keeping Up With Nothing Pod Instagram, or just message one of us. Here. And yeah, we'll make sure we try and be as consistent as possible.
Yeah, and that's the end of episode number 3.
All right.
Peace.